good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining. A lot of people joined, so we might actually hit our attendee limit of 150 quite quickly. Good news for me. Sorry if you've arrived late. Well, you won't even be on the call, unfortunately. What are we going to do today? We're going to do really interactive workshop on vision, on product strategy. We're going to be working with a Miro board for this session. To get that link, you should see it. If somebody just comments saying you can see that link, I published it a little bit earlier. You should see it in the chat, probably on your right-hand side. Excellent. Thanks for that, Ricardo, Susanna, Johanna, Daniele. Nice to see you. Timir, thank you as well. Excellent. So open that up. We're going to jump in a session. I'll just wait for 1 more minute so anybody joining a minute late isn't completely lost when we get started. Valerie said you're having trouble hearing. Everybody else, how's the audio for everyone else? Bushra as well. Nice to see you. Let me just double check that it hasn't gone back to my previous one. No, looks all good. Audio all good. Okay, excellent. Sorry, Valerie. Out of my control, unfortunately. Excellent. I'm just going to repost that link. So for everybody, stop commenting. Thank you for being helpful, though. Just so that anybody joining will have access to that link. And then we're going to jump in under 1 minute and get started. Awesome. Right. Just a note, my dog has been a little bit difficult today, so there might be a point where you hear some scratching at the door behind me, at which point I'm going to shuffle her out. I tried to explain that I was hosting a webinar, but obviously some language barrier there. Excellent. Let's jump in. So as I said, if anybody joins late, can help me out and just repost that link if you see anybody completely lost. Right, is she not part of the presentation? She's not very good on product strategy, great on vision, not very good at product strategy. So she's sort of helping out in the background a little bit, disrupting the preparation. So anyway, let's jump into it. Great, so Miro board is there. Unfortunately, I can't pin it. It is on there as an extra resource actually that can be accessed. So as I said, if anybody joins, if you see them commenting saying, hey, I can't get access to the board, if somebody could repost that link for me, that would be a massive help. And let's jump into this, right? I think we're all bored of listening to me rambling on. Give me 1 second, I will share my screen and then we're going to get started on the live session. Excellent. Awesome. Daniele or Bushra, could you just confirm that you can see my screen, and then we're going to jump into it. Excellent, perfect. Andres, are there 2 Miro links? No, they should be the same link. It should say Product MBA, Product Vision and Strategy Workshop, and you should see that there are, about 65 people already on there, which is great to see as well. I'm just going to hide the cursors so it doesn't cause chaos. Let's jump in, right? I do not believe that, product is something that can be learned just in theory. So we could have done an hour-long presentation about what product strategy is, how we use it, why it's important, but I'm not going to do that. I've also talked about that a lot before in my book as well. And it's, as I said, really, it's more important to put things into practice and then afterwards go and improve your grasp of the theory. So what is the outcome of today's session? So firstly, to understand really what are the core components of building blocks of a product vision and strategy. And secondly, we're going to then go and actually create a product vision and product strategy, or you will go and do that yourselves. As I said, the session is going to be really hands-on. There's going to be a lot of feedback after every single exercise, and we're really going to focus on putting things into practice. This is going to be, quite new to many people, others like, Daniele that's been through the program. This is going to be a really nice way to sort of brush up those skills, and also how you communicate things like vision and product vision and product strategy. What's the format? First thing I'd love everybody to do is to select an idea. To do so, you can think of the current product you are working on, right, in your day-to-day work. Or you could come up with a new product concept. How do we do that? Don't think about solutions. Just think about any problems that you, maybe your partner, your friends or colleagues have faced over the last couple of weeks. Right? So any problem they face, That can be the inspiration for a product, or just take your existing product and go from what we call first principles. Right, so just answering the questions that will come up in the exercises rather than thinking about what it is. Great question, Andres. Can we agree on the definition of what a product is and what a product is not? Let's avoid using the word product at this point. Right, I just want you to keep in mind the two options of either answer the questions related to a product you might be working on in your day-to-day, right? That means some sort of vehicle of delivering value. That could be, you know, I don't know, let's say an app. It could be a newsletter you have, right? It could be an acquisition funnel of some sort, some way of delivering value to the customer and to the business in terms of revenue. On the other side, as I said, just focus on answering the questions from scratch. When I ask the first question, what's the problem? Simply think about any problem that you face, your partners faced, could be your dog, or friends and colleagues as well. Right. The key thing today is not so much the coming out with the perfect product strategy, it's just understanding the steps that need to be taken. So don't obsess over the idea you're going to be working with. So first thing, just think about what that idea might be. Second thing, if everybody can scroll down and select a workboard so that we don't cause chaos here. There are about 100 boards there. Roughly go where your name in the alphabet is. So if you are Ruan, sort of go 3/4 of the way down that list. If you're Bushra, obviously go near the top, just so we don't have 100 people trying to fight for the first board. Although ironically, it is usually the first board that everybody leaves alone. Marat's already beaten us there. Good work, smart man. Excellent. So just take a board. You should see where other people are working. Good. And obviously, there's a lot of people today. I'm going to try and move around as much as possible in terms of giving feedback. We've got a lot of people on the call. So I'm just double checking we have enough boards. Yes, we do. Excellent. Right, let's finally jump into the first exercise. So final few comments on the format. So just select an idea, as I said, related to your day-to-day work or a problem that you face, your partners face, your friends and colleagues have faced. Secondly, you should have a workboard now. 3, we're going to follow each step of the live exercise. I'm going to continue sharing my screen just to talk through that. If anybody, for whatever reason, doesn't want to participate or can't, I'll be sharing my screen just to keep that up so you can keep coming back to the example. We're going to do exercise by exercise with a timer. That timer will most likely appear at the bottom of your screen. It might be top right. They've just updated the feature. And final point, after each exercise, I'm just going to review a few examples as well. Excellent. Let's jump into the first question. So as I said, we're going to go to what we call first principles here. Try to ignore preconceived notions about what the solution might be or try and catch your biases here. I just want you to ask in very simple terms. I want you to write simple answers to quite simple questions. And we're going to learn through feedback primarily. So first exercise, step 1, what is the problem and for whom? So I just want you to answer that question. Let's take an example for us at Prod MBA. Right, okay, well, what's the problem? Sorry, who do we help? Legends. Give me 1 second. Sorry, just had an issue with the camera for some reason. Give me a second. Okay, sorry, very strange. There we are. Okay, excellent. Sorry, not sure what happened there. I think my camera must have disconnected. I will sort that out whilst we do the good, you can hear me. Excellent. I'll sort my camera out whilst we do the first exercise. First exercise, what is the problem and for who? So if I give you an example, for who? Like at Prod MBA, who do we help? We help product managers. What's the problem? It is that product managers want to improve their product skill set, for example. Simple as that, single sentence answers. So again, you can apply the questions to your current product one you work on in your company, or simply start from scratch. Any problem that you can think of that your friends or colleagues or partner have faced. So I'm going to start a 3-minute timer for this. So a little bit of background music as well. We're pretty limited, but let's go for calm flow, ease our way into the weekend. I'll try and sort out my camera. Just a minute and a half to go. I've added an extra minute for you for this exercise. Awesome. Okay, don't worry about today is not about getting the phrasing perfect first time, nothing like that. Just to start really getting applying your thought process to the strategy process we're going to go through today. So I just move my notebook. Okay, let's look at a few examples. So I'm going to look at Cal here. This is an interesting one. And Cal, be ready just to answer any questions if you could. That'd be really appreciated. As also George and Emma, I'm going to come to There might be multiple Georges and Emmas, but we'll try and find you. Okay, so Cal has written that Cal's customers are existing customers and wine lovers. Okay, so broadly speaking, we're probably talking about wine lovers here, right? People that are in some way interested in wine. The problem that Cal has stated is that the, quote, wine proposition is not clear or engaging. Yeah, sorry, I'll bring, good point. I'm screen sharing here, but I will actually bring everybody over as well. Thanks for that, Susanna. Okay, so is the problem really that the wine proposition is not clear or engaging for wine lovers? Is that the problem for them? Feel free to maybe write some comments or share your thoughts on the chat. Anybody here? It seems to me that for wine lovers, it's not clear what the problem is here. Is it about, they're not able to find the perfect red wine, or that it's about, they love wine, but it's too expensive, or they love Argentinian wine and they don't know where to find it, for example? James, the problem is they want wine. Yeah, they want some sort of wine or something related to wine. Now, you've written, Cal, good. Okay, good. So we've got a problem there. That the problem is they can't find what they're looking for. Good. And I'd like you to be a bit more specific on the next exercise. Now, what you've written is that's the problem for you as a business. That's not the problem for them. And I suspect because you've been asking the wrong question, that's why you're in a position where your wine proposition is not clear or engaging, because you're not calling to a specific problem that the customer's facing. Right, so yeah, good. Some great examples there from Josh and Ernest. Could be any of these. Right? This is what we're going to come on to later when we look at differentiation and strategy. Let's look at another example. I have to test my memory. George, if you could, let me just try and track you down. That's George Dixon. Awesome. George, could you just take me to your board? I'm going to follow you. Oh, I think he's disappeared. Okay, not a problem. Let me find another example. Emma, I think, was in the top somewhere. If everybody just add your name, that would be massively helpful. Just save some time for us. Here's George. Okay. Okay, we've got a different example here. I'm going to take yeah, no worries. I'm going to take another George example. Okay, what have we got? We've got, who's George trying to help here? Sales teams and our clients. Okay. And what's the problem? Clients can't appreciate the potential of our data. Okay, interesting. Again, this is again there's a focus on you as the business. Right, because who are these sales teams and our client? Like, how are we defining them? Is it based on psychographics? Like, what are their needs? For example, like, how do we identify them? Is it just sales teams broadly, or is it, for example, sales teams in Series A SaaS businesses, for example? What's the problem? Clients can't appreciate the potential of our data. Again, it's quite inward facing. Like, what actually is the problem there for that client? It's not clear to me there. Ross, yeah, who is the client as well? Exactly. Excellent. Good. So what's the problem here? We're not actually understanding, okay, what's the deeper level problem going on? It's a very common mistake. We can be inwards facing, and also we can misidentify the problem that the person is facing. So Sanchit, here's a great example of that in practice for everybody. George, be more specific, and don't worry about you. Nobody cares about you as a company. Sorry to say it, right? The customer cares about themselves and what they want and what they're going to get from it. And we're going to come on to that shortly. Sanchit, good example here. So Sanchit's written, people looking to rent new houses. Good, very clear, simple and clear market. What's the problem? Multiple times uploading of documents and personal details for house renting for multiple agency. So a little bit bureaucratic. Now, this is going to prime us for the next question. This is the most common mistake that products team make. We don't identify actually what's really going on under the surface. We switch to a solution, right? So uploading of documents and personal details. It's more or less a solution, and it's phrased as a problem, rather than actually saying, okay, well, what's really going on underneath the surface there? What's really the problem? If we come up to the workboard again, I'll bring everybody over. Susanna, keep reminding me if I forget to do this. Second exercise we're going to do, what's really the problem? So I don't mean what's the problem for you as a business, because, you know, Crimea River, there are a million products out there. Why should the customer care about you unless you are solving their problem? Sorry to say it, it's the harsh reality. And secondly, how do we avoid that very common problem where we're not actually addressing the core problems? We're just touching up on the surface level. Sanchik's example, okay, they want to buy a house. Is it really about uploading documents and that being bureaucratic? Like, what's really going on here? So for this second iteration, I want you to update your problem card and understand not what the external problem is, so the uploading of documents, but what's the internal problem? So what's really going on? What do they really want to do there? What are the core motives behind action that they want to take? So an example there could be, it's not about uploading documents. The problem is really about finding the dream home, for example. It could be related to, if we look at other core motives, conserving financial resources. Maybe for your niche, it's about investing and securing their financial future when they buy a house. Maybe it's about conserving time, right? So they just want it to be really easy and simple. Is it about building social networks? Is that the deeper motive? What about gaining status? So even buying a house, it's a status-related activity. It's sort of establishing, you know, yourself as a functional adult, particularly in the UK, right? It's a norm. You know, as you reach 30 and your 40s, you should have a house, right? That's the sort of belief we have. Maybe it's about accumulating resources. So again, investment, security. Could also be related to things like generosity or finding meaning and purpose. So with the next exercise, I'm going to set again a 3-minute timer. And I want you to edit that problem so that it's not about you as a company and it's not about that surface level solution-y problem. What's really going, what's that deeper level motive there? 3-minute timer starting now. Sorry, just to repeat the task. So you're going to update that problem card, that red card, with the internal problem. So what's that deeper thing going on there? To get inspiration, have a look at those core motives I've listed at the top. These are the things that drive, that are motivating somebody to take action or say that this is a problem for them. Just the problem, nothing else. Don't worry about the blue cards, the orange cards, just the red card. Awesome. Let's look at a few examples. Let's start with Mo. Bring everybody to me and hide you all because there are a lot of you. Okay, so let's look at again, this is the first time you're doing it, so it's a very difficult shift of mindset. So don't worry if I'm going to call you out for something. So Mo, this is a classic mistake we make of again not getting deep enough. So, and this is where we fail to develop as product managers into product leaders because we can't sort of expand out from one solution into a broader product vision and product strategy. So Mo has written that the target customer are online users. And the problem is, how can I secure my online data from hackers and marketing? Good. So it's good. It's better, right? Because we're moving towards this deeper thing of security, but it's not directly called out. It's still quite specific on online data, for example. So what about, really what's the problem there? It's about security. Is it related to financial security, for example? Are people worried about their financial savings, being stolen by hackers, for example? So address the problem. What's that fear behind this? Why are they bothered about trying to secure their online data? Because it's probably related to financial data, privacy, these kinds of things. And as we'll talk about later, if we fail to address that very explicitly, it sounds obvious, right? If we fail to address it very explicitly and clearly, then we are actually very unlikely to address these core needs, both in our product marketing, but also in terms of the kinds of opportunities and solutions we look at. So I really try and dig in one level deeper there. Let's look at two strong examples. Richard Illig, cohort 1. I was expecting you to do a good job of this. Let me try and track you down. Sorry, let me try and find you. Oh, I've lost you. Sorry, I think we've got too many people. Okay, let me go to somebody else. So Bushra had a good example. Let's come back to the top. If everybody could stay on their board, that'll make it a little bit easier for me as well. Sorry, Bushra, if you go to your board, I will come over and follow you. Perfect, here we are. Okay. So this is a very interesting one. So Bushra is looking at remote solopreneurs. Great, Richard, thanks for that. I will come and find you after. So remote solopreneurs is the market, right? That's the person we're helping out. What's the surface level? Feeling alone on the journey, not feeling accountable, not feeling the push. What's the internal problem? Building the business faster to make money and find satisfaction. Excellent. So there's a few things going on. So really interesting things going on here in terms of the problem around financial security, purpose, loneliness as well as something that's mentioned. So on the surface level, they might say, well, I'm not feeling the push. When you go, okay, well, why is that the case? You find out it's about maybe fear of lack of financial security, fear of not discovering purpose, fear of lack of social security and status, for example. So there's a lot of things going on here. Ruan, if you're struggling to see the cards, just click the arrow icon top right, and it's going to hide all of those arrows for you. Right, let's try and track down Richard. Awesome, thanks for that. It's a great little hack that I didn't know about, actually. Richard, we've got travelers. What's the internal problem? Excellent. It's not about tracking. So I know obviously you work in sort of flight cancellation and how do we help with refund. It's not about the refund. It's about generally like a frustration or a lack of respect, right? Somebody's ruined my vacation because the flight's been cancelled. They've wasted my time and my money. That's what people are annoyed about. That's the problem. It's not about surface level problem of sort of helping them with the admin of that. That's how we might deliver it. But the core problem is that sense of outrage we get, if anybody's had a flight cancellation and stuck at an airport for 24 hours or so. So excellent example there as well. Good. Let's move on to the next exercise. I'm going to start getting into a little bit more of the strategy here. So again, one of the biggest reasons that product fails, we fail to identify the core problem, right? The internal problem, and we just touch the surface. And without understanding that deeper level problem, we're never going to be able to frame to create a holistic product vision and strategy, and therefore build teams that all cohesively move towards the same goals. We'll come on to vision and strategy shortly. Next exercise, 3 minutes again. Very simple. We've got the internal problem. We understand who we're solving that for. Now we want you to write, what's their ideal outcome? Sometimes it might be very obvious, but try and really think, what's that ideal outcome? What's that deep, long-term goal they're looking for? So if I give you an example from us again, what's the internal problem? Really, it's not about improving product skills. It's really about purpose, career development, right? Being respected and having status. Who do we work with? Product managers. What's the ideal outcome? Well, really, it's about getting to head of product, right? Getting to some sort of product leadership role where we're at the top of the hierarchy, right? Because we get autonomy, we get purpose, and we get respect from others by achieving that. So for your case, what's that ideal outcome? And again, don't go surface level. What's that deep core goal that somebody is looking for? So 3-minute timer starting now. Go deeper. I'm seeing a lot of people staying surface level. What are they really trying to achieve here? What's that big internal goal, that thing that they dream about, they think about? Think of transformations, not improvements. How do we transform the outcome, that promise we're going to make them, rather than just help them get a little bit better at something? Just going to add 1 more minute. So really, really think this through. What's the deep goal they're looking for? That deeper level outcome. Just the blue card. Don't worry about anything else. We're going to come on to the other exercises. Meg, I see you running ahead. Don't do it yet. Try and be concise as well. Last 30 seconds. Try and make it really, really concise so that anybody reading it, including me, can understand what's going on. Excellent. Let's have a look at a few examples. So I'm going to call out a few people. Christoph, Ernest, and Guy. So let's have a look at Christoph first. This is an interesting one because you've improved it since I looked at it. Bushra, sorry, a question that came up. How emotional should we be with the goal? Whatever that dream outcome is, that ideal outcome, that's what we need to put in there. Don't shy away from that. Christoph, what have we got? Internal problem. How do we communicate and be respected and recognized as a leader? Excellent. For who? Product teams or product managers? What's the ideal outcome they're looking for? Good. So first, Christoph wrote, communicate complex problems very easily and clearly. That's not the ideal outcome. Sorry, Natalie, I will bring everybody to me. To recap that. So Christoph dug in, right? It's about, okay, how do we sort of structure and communicate problems and discussions, like Miro, for example. What's the internal problem? Good. It's not just about expressing ideas, it's about being recognized and respected as a leader. Who's it for? Product managers. What's the ideal outcome? Excellent. It's not about the ideal outcome of communicating complex problems very easily and clearly. It's really about being recognized as smart, right? Yes, there's an element of that, you know, communicating complex problems very easily and clearly. We understand that it's implied that that's going to help us do our job better and therefore be respected and recognized. But actually, if we understand it's that deeper motivation about being recognized as smart, you know, being respected as a leader, if we understand that, it opens up whole different avenues for what we could offer. So rather than simply thinking about communication tools, you know, how do we look holistically? How do we help this product manager excel and thrive, for example? It's really, really important there. And if we look at companies like, I think a great example to contrast this is Product Board, where we talk about, you know, it's not about managing development, right? It's about customer-centric products. Helping us understand what customers need, prioritize what to build next, and rally everyone around the roadmap. These are things that we understand are going to help us, as you know, everyone can relate to this as product managers, help us excel as product managers and leaders. Let's look at another excellent example here. Guy. So let's have a look at Guy. So what has Guy done? Let me bring everybody over. What's the surface level problem? Finding a job is messy and lonely process. Internal, be assisted in the journey to find a dream job. Yeah, good. It's about that you know, I'm struggling to find the right role. Who? Anybody looking for a job. What's the design outcome? It's land the dream job. Excellent. It's not just about finding a job. It's about how do we help them really find that perfect role, right? That dream role they're looking for. And again, that lifts up our performance as a team and broadens the kind of things we might do to help deliver that outcome for the target customer. Excellent, great example. So again, don't hesitate on going high, because we need to do that. If we don't do that, we're always going to, good question. Josh said, isn't landing the dream job surface level? No, because if we deliver on it, then we're going to build a product that people are going to, we're going to achieve product market fit, right? We're going to have people coming to us, looking for a dream job, finding that. They're then going to tell other people about it. They're going to be more willing to pay for it. At some point, they're going to change from their dream job and come back and reuse that product. Now, if we don't shoot for that ideal outcome, that key goal, then we're in danger of creating a very vanilla, right, a very bland product, and that's what most product teams end up doing, because they don't understand what's that sort of longer term goal we're going for. In many cases. Yeah, Josh, good. Is it also about happiness? Absolutely, absolutely. You know, land the dream job, find purpose, find happiness, etc. Good. Yeah, vitamin. I wouldn't say it's about financial independence in this case, unless we're specifically saying, move from a low paid job to a high paid, and that might be a specific niche that we're looking at. Excellent. Let's go back to the top, and we're going to jump into the next exercise. So you're going to have 5 minutes for this exercise. Let me bring everybody back over. So we understand who we're helping, what their problem is, and what the desired outcome is. That's essentially our product vision. That is our product vision. That's what we aim for, and we have to shoot for, so that we can build a product that delivers lots of value to our customer and also for us as the business, as I said, because if we really fulfill that ideal outcome, then we're going to start seeing signs of product market fit. And that's really the foundation for success for us as a product team and organization. This exercise, you're going to have 5 minutes, and I want you to get at least one of these, answer one of these. You can have multiple, what we call opportunities here. So first question, what specific value can you provide to help us move towards that desired outcome? Right. So if we take the example of, let's take Airbnb, right? So let's say we've got a niche of Airbnb in the early days, let's say young professionals based in the US. What's their ideal outcome? Really connecting with or having interesting travel experiences. What specific value could we provide? Well, we could provide them with accommodation. We could also provide them with unique experiences, right? It's the second big product they've launched recently. We could look at helping people, on business trips, discover cool new things to do. How are we doing it in a unique way? Products fail because they fail to differentiate from competition. So really, really focus as well on that second question, right? How are we doing it in it? Not just a unique way where it's like, hey, we're using AI, but what actual value are we also delivering there? So really important, what specific value can we provide? And secondly, how do we do that in a unique way as well? You can have multiple different ideas. I gave 2 there with Airbnb. Put 2 or 3 down if you want. You're going to have 5 minutes for this exercise. I'm sure there'll be some questions, so do post on the chat and I will answer as many as possible. One tip, focus on value and not features. We're not talking about solutions yet. What are the different areas of value that we could provide? Accommodation is obviously linked to some sort of solution, but it could be multiple ways of doing that. It's about somewhere to stay. That's the opportunity, or some experience to do. And 1 minute to go for this. We're going to wrap up in 5 minutes, by the way, just so everybody has an understanding of timeline. Just the last few examples and then a recap. Awesome. Right, let's look at 1 or 2 examples. So first one is one of our best students, Kieran, who's nailed it. Should do after 8 weeks of working with her. Okay, so what have we got? Initial problem, what's the core problem? Wasting time and adding complexity in the way we plan and deliver our objectives. Lack of alignment. For who? Product teams. What's the desired outcome? Creating more value as product teams. Excellent. Good. That's really what we're trying to do, is create successful products ultimately. What different ways could we do that? It's a great example of how we apply this to internal products as well. So first area of value could be helping them define a clear product strategy that helps the team work towards the same goal. How do we do that in a unique way? Yeah, could be a company Miro board, for example. If we were looking at this as a B2B tool, we could, come up with different solutions related to how we might deliver on helping companies align around a product strategy. Second area of value might be simply a process. How can we do that in a unique way? Again, we could build a tool. We could use even a no-code prototype. If it's internal, we don't even need to do it in a unique way, as long as it's actually going to deliver that value to them. Right, so nice example there. Let's look at IM as well. Here we are. So look at IM's example. So I'm not sure what your first name is. What's the problem? Feeling neglected, getting discouraged in their quest to build a business / change the world. Good. Who's that for? Tech founders. What's their desired outcome? Yeah, really, how to build a successful business ultimately. What different ways might we be able to deliver value to help them build a successful business? Good. First might be, okay, how do we leverage the power of investors? How do we do that in a unique way? Scouting for the most active investors and experts. Excellent. Excellent. Second one, allow them to discover relevant investors. Good. Again, we could focus on how do we do that in a unique way, focusing on the active element of these investors and experts. So if we just come up, we'll start reviewing how this ties into vision and strategy. So what have we done today in terms of how does this relate to product vision and product strategy? Now, clearly, right, we've just touched the surface, right? We're not going deep into the theory, which is very important. We have not had enough time to really delve into this in detail. But what, in terms of the outcome, what I wanted to achieve today is to get you really starting to think strategically and more from a high level before jumping straight to really a solution. That's the big problem with most discovery work. We basically have a fixed idea of what the solution is. We sort of frame everything around that. And therefore we hit a ceiling in our career because we can't think of things holistically. We don't understand, okay, who are we trying to help? Yeah, we might have an idea of that, but what do they really want? What are the core problems that they're facing? And on a strategic, and that's really the crux of our product vision. And secondly, on a product strategy level, right, the how we deliver on our vision, we don't actually know that. We just have, okay, we might have a vision and then we've just got a solution or just lots of random solutions. Now, we need to start thinking strategically to understand, okay, well, what do they want and how do we deliver value for them in a unique way so that we can attract and retain and ultimately charge money to our customers. So when I start thinking about that, before we get to solutions, if we move to step 6 here, and we weren't going to cover this today, only at that point when we understand, okay, what is the unique value that we're going to be delivering to help move towards that vision, only then do we think about solutions. And solutions have to be couched. I mean, Teresa Torres has that great concept of the opportunity tree. Solutions exist within an opportunity. So they're related to how we might deliver in a unique way. So if we take our example at Product MBA, right, what's the ideal outcome? We're pushing people to really fast track their path towards head of product. In terms of value, what do we do there? We focus on like really hands-on learning and also authentic support. We don't talk about solutions there because that's not actually relevant. That's not what people want. What people want is the desired outcome, and they want to achieve that in a way that they think is going to be valuable and is unique, so that they are intrigued enough to look at the offer. Only then do we think about solutions. It's a very important step, because as I said, most people go, okay, we sort of have an understanding of the problem on a surface level. We sort of understand like who the person is, like product managers or accountant. Let's just get some solutions together. And no product organization succeeds, no product leader succeeds without not only understanding, but being able to communicate and construct solutions within this opportunity tree. So as I said, today's really just that starting on the path there. There's also an exercise you can do where we really just sort of we check in on ourselves. Okay, we've come up with some nice ideas there. Obviously, in the real world, we need to go and do product discovery to actually understand and generate some of those key insights. But also then applying things like the Blue Ocean strategy canvas to understand, okay, is this actually unique? Do we actually think it's valuable based on the conversations we've had? So there's another exercise you can do on there as well. Finally, in terms of next steps, in terms of taking action, theory without practice means nothing, right? Only through hands-on experience will you really grow as a product leader. So here are 3 things you can do. Get started with these right now, or at least save the links, have those tabs open. First, we have a Miro product thinking board where we go into all the building blocks of product in detail. It's applicable for new products as well as existing products. Right? 80% of products never achieve product market fit. Therefore, our role is, as product managers on existing products, is to audit those to deliver more value. Sorry, if those are not clickable, let me just unlock that for you. Excellent, thanks for that. Let me repost those links. I think you have to hover on them. I'll do that shortly. Anyway, so you can download our Miro product thinking board. That's every building block of a product that you can use there. Secondly, you can get a free copy of my book. Again, follow that link. I will post this very shortly. Slava, if you just click off for me, then I can edit that for you. And finally, we have a few places left for our April cohort, literally a few. So if you want to really take action, again, we've touched upon the surface today. If you really want to put this into practice and fast track your product career, then check out Product MBA. We've got a few places left, as I said. So let me grab those links for you right now. So we have them. And then we will wrap up with just one or two questions as well. Sorry, I did test that before, right? There's one link for you. Here's the second one. And finally, third one. Third one for you as well. Excellent. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. As I said, we touched up on the surface, but hopefully what I've got you to is realize that much of the time we're thinking way too surface level. And by doing so, we are going to commit some of the biggest mistakes, the main causes for failure in product. Firstly, that's not understanding what problem we're actually trying to solve, what that internal problem is. And secondly, it's not coming up with a unique and valuable offer that we're going to take to market. And these are the two key things you need to absolutely master to succeed as a product leader. Touched upon them today. I hope you take action and actually now move forward to really cement and improve upon those skills. So thank you thank you everybody for joining. Great to see people wanting to connect on LinkedIn. Keep posting those LinkedIn links if you like. You could also post them on your name post-it card on the Miro board so that everybody could access that as well. I'll be around just for a couple of minutes if any questions are there. If not, thank you so much for joining. It's a lovely day out here, so thank you for sacrificing your lunch break to participate. Really important you do these kind of things to take charge of your own career as well. So thank you for joining. Thanks, Guilherme. Thank you, Andres. Thank you, Joe, Megan, Cal, Marat, Vitomir, Ernest, Luke, Susanna, Leuben, David, Joe, Mohan, Sanchit, George, Ilka, Bustrop, April, Ron, and Kieran. I saw you posted earlier as well, so thank you for joining. David, thank you as well. Adam, thank you. I think I've got through the list now. Excellent. Yes, if anybody wants access to or wants to do this, unfortunately, because I can't obviously invite you all to the Prod MBA team on Miro, best to just take a screenshot, or if you'd like, create your own Miro board, send me a message on LinkedIn, invite me, and I'll copy that across for you as well to save you a little bit of time. Thanks, Richard. Nice to see you as well. We hopefully will catch up at the Berlin meetup beginning of May. Jitendra, thank you. Daniele as well. I hopefully see you in London. Vina, Ren, thank you very much. Everybody have a great day. And any questions as well, drop me a message on LinkedIn, Henry Latham on LinkedIn, and I'll be more than happy to help out as well. Ammon, yes, I will be attending SVGP's coaching session in May. Very curious, so I will hopefully see you there. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.